we got a story to tell. So, Nothing But Love podcast. This is like 4 years in the makings. I wanted to do it like 4 years ago, and I met the engineers. I did a podcast, and I met them like 2 years ago. And after the podcast show, they was like, "Yo, we like what you brought to the table to that show," and it was powerful, and it was funny because I wanted to do a show anyway, and I was prepping a girl that I'm cool with at my job, Kira. We based out of New York, and I put work into her for like 6 months, and then very unfortunate, shout out to the whole Bashar family, her mother died. So we had a couple of setbacks, and I had to scrap the whole project. So I was kind of at a loss, had to find a co-host, and then Mano, who I know from the 90's, gave me a call and was like, "Hey, what's going on with the show?" And then I'll let Mano jump in and tell you how he came about with the whole situation.
Yeah, so basically I came about with the whole situation where it's like me and Mike go back. We go back about 25 years or so?
Yeah, the 90's. Yeah, early 90's.
We basically like met in Skate Key.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't remember exactly how we met, but we just clicked once we did meet in Skate Key. Like you said, he's originally from the Bronx, moved to Mount Vernon. I had seen him around, different places, but I never really knew like that he was like in Mount Vernon at that time. But so we met at Skate Key, and we just became cool. And we just always liked each other's vibe, you know what I'm saying? We was always cool. It was always like, "Yo, what's up, my dude?" It was almost like real, recognized real. He had a nice car, I had a nice car. You know what I'm saying? He was good with the ladies, I was good with the ladies. You know what I'm saying? And we just always had fun, and we just always had respect and just good intentions. So from there, you know what I'm saying, we just built our relationship, and it got better over the years, basically up until now. You know what I'm saying? And then he had an issue where, he was trying to do a podcast. Me and him been hanging out. We always hung out like off and on throughout the years. And I'm just like, "Yo, bro, like we should really, really try to do something." You know what I'm saying? As far as bringing this story to the streets. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of podcasts out here. There's a lot of people out here that's really, trying to do their thing and trying to bring the story. But I'm like, I really don't think that nobody could bring the story better than us. And that's because of we're time tested, I would say. We actually lived the things that people talk about. We've done things that rappers talk about. We've done things that / drug dealers say that they did. So who better to give you the story? So when we get these people up here, more than likely they can relate to us and we can relate to them, and we can ask them hard-hit questions that you want to hear so that we can bring the good stories to you.
So let me jump in, piggyback off of what he's saying. So, so Skate Key, to the viewers out here. So Skate Key was a skating rink in the Bronx, New York, that in the 90's, like everybody went to. So if you was like from the Bronx, Harlem, Brooklyn, Jersey, that was a skating rink that most people went to on a Saturday in New York. Very popular. It was like, I'm gonna say from like 87 all the way, it ended in 95. So anybody who was really hanging out, they know what time it is with Skate Key, and that's where me and Mano. You gotta tell
them which one, because we rocked out from
the original Skate Key in the Bronx, Allison Avenue.
From Allerton Avenue to 138th Street.
Yeah.
So it was really two Skate Keys.
But really the original.
The original. That's
I'm only gonna talk about the original.
Rocked out from the original joint
in the Bronx, New York, on Allison.
Right, on Allerton Avenue.
And then from there, the rest is history. New York City back then, it was, I'm gonna say it was like music industry driven. So back then, you had Bad Boy, Def Jam, Uptown Records, all the record companies was in New York City, and they kind of supplied all the entertainment in the clubs. So if I was a club promoter, I'm cool with somebody from Bad Boy who know Clue or somebody, and they'll pay me to set everything up, set the venue up, pay for the DJ, stuff like that. I'll set it up, and then they'll bring the artists and everything through, and then that brings people from everywhere through. But, the club game has changed now from back then. There's no more labels in New York. The game is just different, you know what I mean? So, Mano, jump in.
Right, you know what I'm saying? And to piggyback on what he's saying, you're right, the game is different now. But one thing that differentiated ourselves from everybody else was that a lot of people didn't realize, although we were in the streets and we did everything, we had jobs. You know what I'm saying? Like we had jobs back then. So one thing I tell the youth is to always secure that bottom line, whereas you have that income coming in. So whatever you do is extra. So we always had a job, but whatever money we had, whether we was in the streets, whether we was piggybacking, whatever we did, it was always extra to add on to the ambiance of what we had. Because we always knew at a young age, you gotta have the job, and that builds the credit, and then from the credit, it's infinite. You get anything that you want. So that's basically how we kind of like always juggled throughout the years. You know what I'm saying? We work, we party, but we was getting up every morning going to work. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people didn't realize. A lot of people look at us and be like, yo, them niggas, they getting wild money hustling. We might have been doing things like that, but that was secondary to the money that was coming in on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying? And that's the message that I really want to send to the youth, is that it's okay to do your thing, but secure something that's steady, that's coming into you. You know what I'm saying? So that you have that, so that everything else is secondary.
So I want to jump into something. So I'm originally from the Bronx. I'm from Edelwood Project. Shout out to the whole Bronx and stuff like that. A lot of people know me. Uptown Bronx, Boston Road Valley, Co-op. You know, I moved to Mount Vernon in 1988. Moving to Mount Vernon, like I said, you know, I got cool with the Heavy D circle. So Heavy D best friend Joe Black, that's a good friend of mine. Shout out to D.O., D Nice. That's all his circle. So getting cool with that circle, coming to Mount Vernon, you know, I'm going to record labels early 90s. I'm going to Uptown. When Bad Boy first started, I'm cool with everybody that work at Bad Boy, because half of them from Mount Vernon. You know, you go into Def Jam and Sony, you know, the other labels and stuff like that. So I was very fortunate. One thing I want to preach to everybody that's watching this show is that relationships is everything. Never burn bridges. That's a fact. So I still got relationships from 1990, 89, 88. People from the music industry, not the music industry, from Jersey, from Brooklyn, from Queens. My relationships and rapport is real. I didn't burn no bridges. Everybody know me. Mike is a good nigga. Everybody fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm about fun, the ladies, and spending money. I'll fuck up the cash in a heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? That's why me and him hang together. We fuck up that cash.
And anybody know me know it. That's a fact. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? He fucked the money, I fucked the money.
Listen, we've been doing this since the 90s, no lie. Everybody, a lot of people know me from my card game. My card game in the 90s was incredible. Every car in real time that you wanted, everybody wanted an Acura Legend. I had that. Everybody wanted a Lex Coupe. I had that. The CLK was incredible when that first came out. Like, the only person that had that, Mace had that in his video, the green CLK. I had that silver. Absolutely. I was like one of the first niggas uptown, like me and 5 other people had that in the Bronx. That's it. It was nobody else back then. Like, having a CLK was like having a Bentley back then. You know, this is like 99. You know what I'm saying? So,
and then from there you went to the Range.
Yeah, I went to the Range Rover. I had like 2 Range Rovers. And
what color?
I had blue, and then I had a white Range Rover. Shout out to Mark from Brooklyn. So Mark from Brooklyn was like a broker for the cars. So he used to like get all the celebrities' cars. Nas, I was in the office when Buster called. He wanted a car. I think Buster wanted like the 500 Benz at the time. He worked out of a dealership in Glen Cove, Long Island. They could get you any car. Benz, Range Rover, BMW, Porsche, anything. So I got cool with Mark from Brooklyn, and me and him had a rapport. Actually, Mark from Brooklyn got my white CLK, and then he got me both Range Rovers. So me and him got a rapport. And I'm going to tell you a quick story about that. Mark from Brooklyn did real estate. I never forget this shit. So I was buying my cars cash back then. There was no such thing as a car note. I didn't lease. I didn't finance. I was buying it straight up. So I never forget, when I bought the Benz was $60,000. Mark from Brooklyn, I never forget this shit. He was like, yo, you should buy lots. This is 2003, because I just had my son. He said, yo, why are you paying $63,000 for this Benz cash? They're selling lots in Miami. You could get a lot for $30,000. You should get 2 lots. Hold on to it, because the investors are coming through, And when they come through to buy the lots, because they building land and shit like that, they got to find out who got the lot, and they'll offer you 3-4 times what you paid for it, because they trying to build like a whole section. You know what I mean? And I never forget this. He was telling me, yo, you should buy it. Yo, Fat Joe bought like 10 lots, and they was going for $30,000 each. And I never forget that. And I thought about it real quick, but I was just so caught up into the card game back then. I'm like, nah, like, I run across some money, I gotta get this car now. But thinking about it in hindsight, you get a lot for 30. Back then, developer was coming to see you like a year later, 2 years later, and they giving you 5 times that back. So that's something to think about in hindsight. You know, I was younger then. It was all about the flash, cash, and all that. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to tell y'all my story to tell y'all, when you meet good people out here, you know, when you flowing out here, you meet good people and they giving you good advice. You know, I didn't go to school. I wasn't in real estate or none of that. You know what I'm saying? I learned as I went. You know what I mean? Man, I'm jumping.
Yeah, and everything he's saying, I'll piggyback off that. That's an actual fact. You know what I'm saying? He was one of the first people, I would say, especially as far as young people, who showed me a title for the car and said the car was paid for. And I could vouch for that.
Yeah, that was big. I had to show them title. You know, I drove around with my title.
That definitely was official. You know what I'm saying? Like, so a little backdrop on me, you know what I'm saying? I'm from Mount Vernon. I'm originally from the Plaza. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Plaza OG. Everybody in the Plaza know who I am.
That's Mount Vernon, New York.
Yeah, that's Mount Vernon, New York. The Plaza, Mount Vernon, New York. Everybody know me over there. They know who I am. They know what I'm about. You know what I'm saying? I helped a lot of people in the Plaza. I taught a lot of people things. I set a lot of ground rules for a lot of people. You know, I uplift people mentally, physically, financially. I did a lot of things in the Plaza. I used to gamble a lot. I used to gamble for thousands. I'm talking about thousands and thousands of dollars. Like, I used to be in Hartley Park. That's Hartley Park in Mount Vernon, New York. And I used to gamble a lot of people. So a lot of people know me from gambling, getting money, you know, being out, you know, hanging out, the nightlife. So all of the stuff that I'm doing in my later life, I've been doing now for like the past 25, 30 years. So anybody that knows me know that it's true, time-tested, official, everything is what it is. As far as the car game, I had all kind of cars. I had BMs, Cadillac trucks, BMWs now, everything. I've had the cars forever. Never really bought the cars in cash because I always wanted to exercise the credit aspect of it. That's why I kept the job. I said I'm gonna build the credit so that I could just manipulate the field and just be bouncing from the credit scene. Mike did also, he did the same thing like that, but he was, I guess he wanted to, you know, do the cash thing. Me, I didn't really want to do that like that, but we still met at the same place. We still had the cars, we still was doing what we was doing.
Right.
But you know, basically in a nutshell, we just got a story to tell. We want to tell you people what it's about, where we come from, what we bring to the table, and how, you know, saying we bring the story to you. You know what I'm saying? That's basically it. You know?
So I want to exercise something. So from the 90s going into the 2000s.
Yeah, let's talk about the 90s too. Like,
yeah.
What was the 90s to y'all? Like, what was y'all
So the 90s was the signature, I think, for us because. So let's go back to Skate Key. So the Skate Key was, you know, you got fly, and you went downtown shopping, whether you bought a Pele or whatever leather coat you bought. Back then was Mark Buchanan Pele. That was the joint. You know, those was going for like 8,800 and up. And you know, you went to KB Con. Yeah, Averix came later. You know what I'm saying? You went to KB Con downtown. You know, you got your Timbs, your outfit. Then you might have went to the Mart and got your Averix.
That's Mart 125 on 125th Street. Anybody that knows, you know.
Yes. He's telling the story right.
Right across the street from Apollo.
Yes.
You know.
He telling the story. And you got fresh to go to Skate Key. From Skate Key, after Skate Key, we went to Olympics downtown. That's like a restaurant in Harlem and stuff like that. So, you know, and then, you know, during the week was the club life. I can name 1,000 clubs. The Palladium downtown, the Flamingo, the Tunnel, Club USA, Club Supper Club. The clubs is endless in New York City. So between me and him, you know, there was a few dudes in Westchester that was always on the nightlife scene that got cool with Harlem dudes. You know, Mount Vernon has a special connection with Harlem. So, you
That's
know,
a fact.
Harlem dudes.
Talk about that because Mount Vernon,
Yeah.
Harlem, and
Yeah.
Bronx, like
Right.
totally different areas.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So,
Explain
So Mount Vernon connection. It's a lot of connections because it's a lot of old school drug dealers that was in Mount Vernon that was cool with Harlem dudes, and then Mount Vernon dudes made a mark. We went downtown, got cool with people. People liked our energy. You know, we had style and stuff like that. And shout out to everybody from 140th. People from Broadway and stuff like that. 116th.
East side, west side.
We got cool with the whole Harlem. So the love was always real with Mount Vernon people from Harlem, and then it went to the club scene. You know what I mean? And man, jump in.
And to piggyback on that, he's exactly right. What it is like we always had that I would say that swagger, almost like that Harlem swagger, like whereas we wanted to be out, we wanted to be flashy, we wanted to live. So to see that as we were young, growing up, to see that, I guess with the drug dealers doing what they doing, we always wanted that life. So we all automatically connected with that. So we wanted to be in that life. So we would gravitate down there to mingle with that type of crowd. We wanted to go past 241st Street. We wanted to be around all the ladies. We wanted to have the fly stuff. We wanted to do all that and then represent for our people coming back from 914 to be like, yo, this is what we did and you can do it too. And if not, we'll help you get there. You know what I'm saying? Because back in the days, Harlem and the Bronx was where everything was happening. And if you wasn't there, you wasn't popping.
To piggyback with what he's saying, everybody from everywhere, Harlem is like universal. So I don't care where you're from, Brooklyn, Queens, Jersey. Everybody wanted to go to Harlem back then. Everybody wanted to go.
Yeah, that's where it was. Because it was everything. You had Dapper Dan, you had, it's just all the money. Anybody. Harlem is the trendsetter for New York. Everything that
iconic. Everything
that comes from trendsetting to being fly to music to anything. That's the mecca.
It's the mecca
of New York.
It's the mecca of New York.
Anybody will tell you, and if they tell you it's not, they hating.
Yeah.
Harlem, and it's not like I'm bigging them up. I love Harlem. I love everywhere, but you got to give credit to what
everybody from everywhere wanted to come to Harlem.
That is the mecca of being fly.
You wanted to come to 125th. Double Park.
You want to go to the Apollo. You want to go to Willie Burgers.
145th in Harlem, New York.
Absolutely.
Willie Burgers. Get a burger. Get a fruit punch juice and stuff like that.
Right.
It was just the mecca. Is what it was. You know what I'm saying? So
that's a fact.
How it goes is, you know, we was out on the regular. You bump into people in the club. They see your face. Hey, what's up? Yeah. You get cool with people like, yo, you was at the last party. Boom, 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 and y'all become friends and stuff. Remember, there's no like phones back then. It's just beeper.
It was beeper, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you had to make these relationships.
Now we had the phone. We had knockoff phones.
Yeah. But before that, remember early in the game, Skakey, like early.
Oh yeah, it was beepers. Absolutely.
There was beepers, no phones.
Or it was just meet me there.
Yeah.
That's it. When you get there,
see somebody in the street.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
So you had to really
we'll get you in.
You had to really know people in the street that hung out and meet them, got a relationship. They got your phone number, beeper number. They beep you, be like, oh, we gonna be there. There's no social media, no none of that. Yeah. If you didn't come outside, you ain't
There was no
niggas.
social media back then. It wasn't like you could just put in something to go viral. The viral back then was somebody spreading the word about you.
Yeah, word of mouth.
Verbally. And
Word
then
of
to get
mouth.
around to that little bit of crowd. But it wouldn't go like hit send and it's gone. It wasn't like that back then.
Yeah, so you had to come outside and be hands-on.
Yeah, and you had to show what you had, and you had to be consistent. Consistency was the key.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You had to be fly, you had to keep it going, and you had to keep that swagger up to par constantly. It was a constant thing. You had to feed the giant.
And true story, all the fly niggas, we all know each other because we all stopped in the same places. Only a few niggas going to Bloomingdale's, to keep it real. Only a few niggas going to the Mart.
Coogee sweaters.
Early in the game, niggas wasn't even going to Neiman and Marcus. Only a few niggas was doing that.
So
you know what I'm saying?
Back then?
I mean...
we was doing a lot of Dolce, a lot of Versace back then.
But I'm
Moschino.
going to go earlier than that.
What?
Tommy Hilfiger took off crazy.
Yeah, Tommy was cool.
Until...
But we blew past that. That was like that was high school shit.
Yeah. Until he did the bullshit. And then, like, people disowned him. You know what I'm saying?
People were saying Tommy Hilfiger and Polo was the top brands.
Yeah, back then, Tommy Hilfiger was crazy. He the first dude that had, like, the polo shirt with the patches on it. The Tommy Hilfiger. Yeah. That was, like, an iconic shirt.
Yeah,
you know
Polo,
what I'm saying?
It was popping.
And Polo was always popping. Like, always. It didn't matter what time it was.
But to me, that's entry level. Because we brought it to another level after that. It's like we did that, but then it was like, now we got to be European. Everything is Versace, Moschino, like so, Dolce. Like we brought it to Coogee. We brought it to another
And
You know
not
what
to
I mean?
toot our horn.
Because I didn't want to. Back then, I didn't want to stand next to somebody with my same Tommy Hilfiger. I want to stand out. I want to have a cashmere Coogee that's $1,200, and you had a regular Coogee or the Tommy. But
so I'm gonna keep it real.
I'm
gonna keep it real. I never forget this. So the years to be stand corrected, 93, niggas was copping Coogees. Bloomingdale. First of all, you can only go to Bloomingdale's.
Like 92, 90.
No, well, listen, I'm gonna keep it real. 93 was for me.
Yeah.
Like 90.
That's
I'm getting out of high school.
We're not gonna talk about the age.
So
You're a little bit younger than me.
93, I'm a young nigga. I'm getting Coogee. Niggas ain't getting Coogees out here. Rappers not even getting Coogees. Let's keep it real. Rappers are not getting Coogee.
Yeah, Coogee was crazy.
Okay, when I had Coogee, rappers wasn't getting it. I remember having the Coogee, the Averex. Not too many people had Averex back then. You understand? Right. 93 now.
Yeah.
So, and you had to go to Bloomingdale's to get a Coogee, or you went to the Mart. That's it. It wasn't nowhere else.
That's a fact. He wasn't going.
Like later on, 95.
Because back then you wasn't going online and buying it straight from Coogee. It wasn't like now where you can go online and go and order whatever you want. You had to go there to the places where they had those outlets to get that stuff.
So what happened was, 95, 2 years later, Coogee started getting watered down. You know, you could get it on Fordham Road, but in the beginning, that didn't exist. You can't go to Fordham Road and get Coogee from Sammy's and all that. You had to go to Bloomingdale's or the Mart. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I bring that up is, you know, we shopping in Bloomingdale's and stuff like that. You bumping into people who are the real shoppers. So we all know each other. So when we bump into them in Bloomingdale's, it's like, yo, you going to the tunnel? Yo, you going to Club USA? You know, we all know each other from shopping. And this is the real people who coming outside.
And what you got to understand, too, this is before the scammers. This is before the swiping and I'm going to buy this with the card. This was cash on the table. This is facts. You going to Bloomingdale, you going to these spots, you're going to Hunter and Fisher, you're going to all these spots, but you're buying this stuff in cash. There's no swipe game. Swipe game came later. So that's what niggas gotta understand. This is all cash we was buying this stuff with. You know what I'm saying? I didn't buy the cars with cash, but I had many cars. He bought the cars with cash, but I bought everything else. The jewelry, the clothes and all that. And I used my credit to leverage all of the big ticket items. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew to do that. But when it come to the clothes and all that, we was throwing thousands of dollars on the table for all of that materialistic stuff before the swipe game.
Shout out to the
There was no swipe game. And I don't got nothing against you swipe niggas. It's cool. It's cool. But y'all on a different time. I wasn't on that time.
I want to give a shout out.
On that time.
I want to give a shout out to the whole Mount Vernon.
Absolutely.
Nothing but love.
I love Mount Vernon.
Shout out to Heavy D. Shout out to Pete Rock, CO Smooth.
Shout
out to Puff Daddy.
Shout
out to Puff Daddy. Puff Daddy, I gotta talk to you about a couple of things. Shout out to Puff Daddy.
Yeah, we gotta shout out to Puff. We gotta get you in the room, Puff. We gotta really get next to you.
Shout out to Puff Daddy. Might have to go to Miami and talk to you, man.
Yeah, you already know what it is, Puff. You already know what it is, Sean. You know. You know, Sean. We love you though.
Lot of memories. So we're gonna use our what's the word? Platform and what was the word? Relationships. Right? We're gonna use our relationships from the 90s, and that's what's gonna make the Nothing But Love show. And y'all gotta start to see every episode. Y'all gotta see how far our reach goes.
Right.
So let's keep that $100 and $100.
Yeah. Exactly.
Reach go far.
So basically,
super far.
Like we're explaining to you that we're like time tested. You know what I'm saying? We tell you what it is, and we let you know what it is and what's real and what's not. You know, now there's always going to be someone who says, oh, I got a different story. But we can't worry about them, because if we worried about them, we wouldn't be where we're at right now doing an interview on a podcast when they don't even have a podcast. We're doing a podcast to bring the people what they want, the good stories, the good energy, and the good love. The number love. That's what we
and our experiences in life from, you know, I think me and him are well-rounded. We got a lot to talk about with real estate. You're going to be surprised. You know what I'm saying?
And we're relevant now.
Yes.
That's the main thing.
Yes.
We're relevant in real time. And it's not touching my own nose despite my face. Everything, we're doing it all in real time. It's not too many people that's doing it in real time. And that is why we feel that we are able to bring you the stories that you need.
Right. So when he say real time, meaning like we're traveling in real time.
Going to restaurants in real time.
Restaurants.
Buying bottles in real time. And anybody could tell you about me, Mano. And no slight on the real on Mano the rapper, but my name is Mainovent, and everybody call me Maynard. I just want y'all to know that. So there's no issues or nothing like that. But anybody that know me know that when you go out with me, you good. You having nothing but fun. Everything is taken care of, from valet parking to getting in to bottles to eating to anything. And if I'm lying right now, for 25 years or more.
I think me and him.
So this is a fact. And the same with Mike.
Me and him connect so well because we're the same type of person. We do the same type of thing. So
that's a fact.
It's about being the host with the most. Everybody know 9 times out of 10, things are covered. We got it. It's about a good time.
Yeah. It's about a good time.
We want everybody around us to be happy.
Right.
From drinking to eating, we want everybody to be happy, and everybody who knows us knows what it is. When it comes to me and him, like me and him is like a bad concoction. Actually,
it's a great concoction.
I need to slow down.
It's a great concoction.
He makes me spend more money. Right now he spends more money than me, but he makes me spend money. Like,
but it ain't about
I gotta
the money.
slow
It's
down.
about the love.
Yeah, for him.
Because at the end of the day, whatever I spend, I know. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's not even about that. It's about the reciprocation. You know what I'm saying? So it's all right for him to be a little nutty right now. It's okay. I got it. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying?
Because last weekend the bottles was on me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's on him sometimes. More the time.
And
but sometimes
anybody that know me know I keep it coming. And if you go out with me, you literally could end up anywhere because sky's the limit. If we go out, we could start off one spot and end up anywhere.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell
that's real talk.
I'm gonna tell you a quick story.
And you're gonna have fun. You're gonna laugh. Your voice gonna be hoarse, and that's a fact. Y'all know it.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all.
Know it.
Quick story. So we go out. This is like a month ago, 2 months ago. So we go out and we go to a rooftop party. Shout out to Tammy Ford and stuff like that. We go to a rooftop party in New York City on 42nd Street, Sarafina. So we go to her spot. After her spot, we go to like a white club, 42 Dior.
Yeah, 42 Dior.
We go to 42 Dior. We had a good time with us.
Good guy.
Rolled out the red carpet, gave us a bottle and all that. Shout out to Harlem. Harlem, the love is real with us. You know what I mean? And,
love is universal. It's universal.
The love is universal. And I say that to say is we got a story to tell, and we're just gonna bring it to the camera.
Right. So,
bring it to the camera.
I mean, that's in a nutshell.
Y'all got any questions? Shoot them questions. I love my engineers. My engineers, they have faith people in the project.
Good guys.
They believed in the project from day one.
It's about the universe.
And
good energy brings back good energy. You put it out in the world, it's gonna come back.
We're about to have some good topics. One thing I want to get into, right, before you ask me the question, I want to introduce something to y'all. So, my name is Money Mike. I came out with a clothing line right before COVID, 2020. Momy Clothing. Y'all know what it is. So COVID comes out. Boom. It's because of Facebook and Instagram that I sustain time. People from all over. New York was shut down, but there was people from California, North Carolina that I know that was like, yo, that's dope. I want that. So the sales was incredible for me with Momy. And I was just doing T-shirts and a hat. So T-shirts and the hat was flowing. Sales was good. I jumped into the sweatsuits and all that. And I never forget, so COVID came out March, September. I jumped into the sweatsuits. I had an incredible month.
This September 2020, right?
2020. So October, I had an incredible month. I did like 18,000 in sales. Profit. Just from Momy sweatsuits and all that. When the sweatsuit came, it was incredible. And that was real dope. So I knew like I wanted to jump into the podcast thing. Let me back the story up. So when I came out with Momy in March, my father died in August from cancer. I found out he had cancer in June. It was terminal cancer. He had the cancer that the guy from the Black Panther. He had the rectum cancer.
Okay, rectum.
Yeah, colon cancer.
Colon cancer. Okay.
And it was stage 4. It was terminal. And they was like, yo, he got like 6 to 8 weeks. He lasted 5 weeks, and so I still had to push through, and keep pushing through with Momy during this time that my father was going through it. I see him deteriorate, and then I see him die. And I still had to push through. I didn't really take a break. I took maybe a 2-week break, but I didn't really take a break. I had to push through. So I'm just telling y'all that you gotta find the energy, push through. There's people counting on you. I had my son counting on me. Everyone's counting on me. My mother was counting on me. So
Absolutely.
I had to put everybody on my shoulders and keep pushing through. After that, so my son, the next year, graduated from high school, wasn't too sure where he was going in life, but he's a video game head. Come to find out, my son played video games on YouTube. YouTube gave him a scholarship to a college because he's top 50 in the country.
Well, that's what's up. Shout out to him.
So yeah, shout out to my son.
Shout
You know
out
what I'm
to
saying? And he got himself in that situation because he's nice with the games and all that. And I say that to say, so I had to, once the YouTube coach was like, your son is nice, he get a scholarship for a school in Virginia, you just gotta get him down there and check it out. I had to, you know, me and his mother's not together. I had to get down there. We had to do it like a college tour in like 2 weeks. Go to Virginia, check it out. They paid for the school. I just had to pay for the apartment. Luckily, I'm blessed. I got a couple of dollars. I ain't gonna brag, you know what I'm saying? I got a couple of dollars, so I had to pay for the apartment and all that. You know, we gonna talk about that. That was a big ass bill. That was $6,000. You know what I'm saying? But I was blessed to get him down there. He's in school. This is his second year at college. He's doing good. And he was a student that wasn't doing good. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Remember, he had to sustain through COVID and all this bullshit, and he wasn't doing that good. And he turned it around. He's in college. Who would have thought? Right. So I just say that to say, stick by your kids, no matter what.
That's a fact.
No matter what they going through, it might seem bleak. His shit turned around overnight.
Right.
Okay, so I had to deal with that. My father died. Boom. So this year in August, I got diagnosed with cancer. So, you know, that's like a bomb. That's a bomb that I'm dropping on y'all. But I wanted to share that with y'all because, you know, it's a health awareness to our culture. You know, our culture don't like going to the doctor and stuff like that. But before anybody, you know, I'm gonna get 1,000 calls from this. It wasn't life-threatening cancer. I caught it early. It was only 5%, and
What kind of cancer?
It was prostate cancer, and how I found out is because I was peeing a lot. So went to the doctor. He was like, "Yo, your prostate level is high." So he waited a month, did another blood test. Was like, "Your prostate level is still high." My prostate level was like 5. It went down to a 4. My age is supposed to be a 3. So I went to a specialist. He was like, yo, we do this test, check your prostate. They stick your finger in your butt. You know, they feeling for like bumps, lumps, rough surfaces. So he stuck the finger in my butt for like 7 seconds. And he was like, yo, you feel good. Maybe you just got some prostate issues. But he was like, yo, let's do a biopsy just to make sure. Because over the years, people been misdiagnosed. So they did the biopsy. So I started, you know, I'm doing Momi, you know, everybody know I post a lot. So this is like a 3-month swing where I wasn't coming out. I fell back. I'm in the house.
Let the people know what that 3 month was. This is recent. This is
yeah.
Right now.
So 3 months. So for example, the 3 months, I knew something was wrong because I was peeing. Let's just say like April.
Of 2022.
Of 22,
right, so
April. He did the biopsy mid-July. Mm-hmm. They came back with the diagnosis August 3rd. You know what I'm saying?
And you started the treatment like in September, right?
Yeah, I started the treatment in September, but let me back it up though. So they do the biopsy. So from April, when he's telling me like, yo, your prostate level high, like you're on eggshells because you know you got to go to that doctor and check it out. So I fell back. I wasn't coming outside, but to the naked eye, you wouldn't know because I'm still posting. So it looks like I'm having fun, but it was strictly work, home. And I want to say a little bit, I was a little depressed because I was on edge because I didn't know. And work home, I'm not active. I gained like 15 pounds because I work home, going to eat, chilling in the bed, going to sleep. Same thing, like, until that diagnosis. So think about it. April, not doing nothing. Diagnosis came August 3rd. They told me I have it. So I wanted to jump on it. So I was like, yo, you know, he was like, yo, you could wait like 4 months, make a decision. I'm like, nah, hell no, let's do it now. So he told me low radiation. And the treatment I had was, they give you like a low radiation thing. You on the table for 5 minutes, and they burn in that area where, because like I said, my shit is 5%. There's some people with got prostate that they shit is 35, 40% of their prostate. They're on the verge of getting their whole prostate taken. You know, they take your prostate, that's the sex shit where you come from. So your sex shit could be over. You understand what I'm saying? With me, it's just 5%. I'm still good. I can still have sex. So I was a little worried about that. So that's so that's a part of the reason. That's a part of the reason. That's a part of the reason. I'm keeping it so real with y'all right now for the viewers.
Yes.
That's a part of the reason why I was going home, because I was on eggshells. You know, I didn't know if I had it or whatever. So the doctor was like, "Yo, let's do the biopsy to make sure you don't got it." So they did the biopsy. I waited. Boom, he comes back. I never forget. I go in the office. He's like, yo, you have a touch of it. And he's like, yo, I can't believe this shit. You felt good when I stuck my finger in your butt. You felt good. He was
Pause.
He was like, yeah, pause on that. Pause on that. Yeah, pause on that. Yo, we men. We can talk about that. This is the process. And let me tell y'all something.
Everything but that part. But I'm listening.
Yo,
listen. In the butt? Nah, we don't.
Yo, let me tell y'all something.
We don't want to.
Old school people, and you know, my pops is old school. Maybe if he went to the doctor and did the colonoscopy at 50, my pops wasn't having, he old school Jamaican. He wasn't going to the doctor. He never had a colonoscopy. You're supposed to have that shit at 50. And truth be told, he knew his father died from that, and he should have did it in his 40s. But old school Jamaican, that era, nobody sticking their finger in my butt, blah, 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 blah. And maybe he could have lived, if he caught it early, to 80 or something like that, you know? And I think about shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Because I see my father deteriorate. So I think about that at times. So I want to touch on something real quick. I'm okay.
Shout out to that.
Shout out to that. I'm okay.
He's okay.
The treatment is over.
Okay.
I want Mano to touch on something that he said to me about when I told him about the colonoscopy, and you know, I had to test the prostate test and all that, and when he found out I had it, you know, he got a couple of words that.
Yeah, so you know, when I found out about it, I was just like, I was thrown back, because not only is that really serious, when somebody tells you that, you automatically think the worst, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to cancer. So once you tell somebody that, and then that's like your man, you think all of the things that you've been through, and then now it might be over, like, you know, like you might be on your way out. So, you know, I'm thinking about that. And then I went home and I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking at the posts, I'm looking at them, and we still hanging out, we still doing things. And I'm like, this dude is like really like acting like nothing is going on. Like he's living his life, working, we partying, popping bottles, going here, doing that, posting, pushing the clothing line, looking forward to the podcast, everything we doing, all for the future, pushing ahead. And I'm just saying, you know, that shit is like a real inspiration, because me personally, if that would have happened to me, I wouldn't have folded, but I wouldn't be in the line. Like I would be sitting back trying to regroup, like anybody else probably would, regroup and get my thoughts together and not want to push forward. So my message to everybody, if you do go through an adversity, go through things like that, you gotta push forward, because your energy is what's gonna bring you to the next level. And that's the level of being cured, the level of being positive, the level of whatever you're trying to achieve. You gotta think positive and you gotta keep pushing forward. And he's a prime example of that, and he's a testament to that, to show that you gotta stay positive and stay focused, man.
And I wanna give a shout out to Mano. I think he came to my life right on time. We're gonna bring some real impactful stories. And we got a story to tell. And what separates us is me and my man right here, we fly in real time. Ain't too many people flying in us on the podcast out here today in real time.
Yeah, we
and y'all gotta see
the
that.
podcast people. We saying the podcast.
Yeah, podcast. And no disrespect to them.
Yeah.
No disrespect to nobody, but we about to show y'all what we really about, because we do this for real,
And
like in real life.
Just not just clothing. We're talking about fly minded. It's a state of mind. It's a lifestyle that we really live. So that's the reason why we could really bring it to you, the way that you need it.
And one segment I want to touch on. Every show we're gonna talk about a restaurant in New York City that you need to go to. Every show we're gonna talk about that.
That's a fact.
One restaurant that we definitely gonna talk about right now is Ricardo Steakhouse in Harlem.
Oh, that's the office. That's the office.
We call that the office
what we
because 9 times out of 10 to y'all, when y'all see me and Mano and Ricardo's, it might look like, oh, they just having fun, they eating or whatever.
But it's
lot
business.
of time we having business meetings in there. Okay, y'all just don't see what's going on behind the scenes, but it's a lot of business. That's why we call it the office.
There's a lot of big business going on.
We don't do shit the traditional way where it's like in the boardroom and shit like that.
Yeah.
No, it happens at Ricardo's at the office. That's why I call it the office.
Over the drinks and over steak and lobster.
So remember, Ricardo Steakhouse, Harlem, New York. It's on 110th and 2nd. Food, hands down, good. One of the best got to be in the top 10 restaurants in New York right
Absolutely.
now. That's a whole fact.
And
Tell
the
them,
hospitality is on 10.
tell them Money
1 and 10
Mike
on 10.
and Mano sent you. Ricardo Steakhouse. All you got to do is say our name. Shoot.
That's a fact.
All right, so let's ask these questions.
All right, get it. Shoot.
About Skate-Key. So,
Yeah.
question I have is,
Yeah.
how did you get into Skate-Key? Was it public for everybody? Was it what days was the best days to get in there? Like, if you remember those times.
So the prime time was Saturday, basically.
well,
It
it's
was a Tuesday, too.
It was 2 nights. Okay, so for you niggas in high school that couldn't come outside, Wednesday night was crazy. The women was in there. The official chicks.
Yeah, Wednesday night was-
And if you came outside, you know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Remember, I was going to Skate Key 10th grade. Women was in there. It's a Wednesday. Supposed to be in the house. I'm in Skate Key. Skate Key closed at 12:30 on Wednesday. 10th grade, I'm in Skate Key on a Wednesday. Think about that. Women with the fat asses, the dope chicks, all that. I gotta tell y'all the visual. This is Skate Key in the Bronx, New York, y'all. Right? And then Saturday was prime time.
What did Skate-Key mean to y'all? Because, you said it closed, but how was the atmosphere going in there? And you guys met too, so you can talk about how you guys met if you
Right, so to me, Skate Key was just like, that was my coming out. Meaning like, that was like home base. It's like, that's where I really ventured off with my dudes. You know what I'm saying? That's where we really ventured off past 241st. It was like, okay, I can't really say that because I was going to the rooftop going back then, at that time. But Skate Key was like where we was like in our element, where we was fly and it was treating us like we were celebrities back then before celebrities were celebrities. It wasn't too many celebrities out there that was frequent in the clubs like you see them like nowadays. Back then, it was more so like hood celebrity. It was more so like you got the love in the club where you was like a ghetto superstar. So I would say Skate Key was like my mecca.
Yeah.
Skate Key. When we was there, we never waited on the line. We'd go in.
Yeah, you could showcase.
You could kind of like all the chicks loved us, and we was just in there every week.
You could kind of like
dedication.
showcase who you are at Skate Key. Mm-hmm. So when I say who you are, meaning like, you bought the fly outfit, the leather coat, the fur coat. You could showcase who you was in Skate Key, and if you had street cred, because let's keep it real here, Skate Key was dangerous. If nigga ain't vouch for you, was getting robbed.
That's a fact.
Niggas took your Pele, forget about a fur coat. You was done. You was fooled.
That's a fact.
So niggas, that was the era. Like niggas had to vouch for you. You had to be connected to some official niggas, or you was finished.
But you got to expound on that. The vouching that you had to have, you got to understand, we coming from Mount Vernon, we coming from Westchester. The vouch we had to vouch from them. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the valid, what's that word? That's the validity, rather. That's the validity of it, of how we wanted to be stamped down there. Right. We had to stamp from them. Right. So they showed us love to say like, okay, these niggas is good. We already knew what we gonna do. We already knew we ready to do whatever. But it's always better when you stamp.
So let me step on this. Shout out to the young guns from Mount Vernon. Like Mount Vernon niggas wasn't having it neither.
Yeah, we wasn't having it.
So let me be clear on that.
Right.
So Mount Vernon, New York niggas wasn't having it. There was Westchester niggas that came to the Bronx, and if Bronx niggas or Harlem niggas or whatever niggas try to front on us, like they getting the beats put on them. pounding, whatever, it's on. It's on and popping. Everybody know who the Young Guns is. They from Mount Vernon. They wild. They rep the town. And they was beating niggas up everywhere in New York City. Everybody know this. They was beating niggas up in Queens, Brooklyn, everywhere. Everyone knows.
Shout out to Alley Cat.
The YGs, Tom Guest, Kenny
Tom
Guest. Shout out to my nigga Mace. Shout out to Alley Cat. Niggas know what it is.
Shout out to Terror.
Yeah. Shout out to the homie that just. Shout out to Dutch.
Yeah.
Shout out to Howie. The YGs. They know what it is.
Know what
so
it is.
so Mount Vernon was always strong. They was official. You know what I'm saying? Next question.
Skate was a rolling ring, right?
Yeah, it was a roller
this is a roller skating ring. So it's like.
So y'all was skating?
I skated. He never skated.
I never skated.
He never.
I just went there.
I go there to do.
So
what
skating was like a club.
Yeah, I go and take my shirt off.
But it was a skating rink.
I go to
but
do
we
it.
treated
That's
it.
how I got most
We
of the
treated it
chicks
like a
I was
club.
skating. He goes standing around.
I'm going there to be fly. So I got.
I was fly too, but
I got a new Pele on.
Put it in the locker.
I'm not going to skate.
Yeah.
I'm talking to chicks in there because I'm fly. I got a couple of dollars. And back then, you know, niggas is cheap. Niggas don't know what it is to take. Shout out to the Baychester Diner on Boston Road. Shout out to Baychester
It's no
Diner.
longer there, but Baychester Diner
was a diner.
Anybody that know, Baychester Diner
that
was
you
it.
took the chicks to Baychester
Onion
Diner.
rings was like this.
And get what you want. You want steak.
Cheeseburgers was like this.
Burger. You got a burger or a steak or what? It was something else. But burger, like, no, get a steak. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was. You know, back then. Now think about it. 92, 93, 94, 95. These are the years. You know, we young niggas. You know, teenagers. Like, yo, like, hang out. Like, it's all good. We've been doing this forever, like he said. Forever.
Yeah, for
you know
a
what I'm saying?
long time.
Niggas was finding ways how to get money. I ain't gonna talk about that too much on camera because I don't want to go to jail. But anyway. But yo, the love is real out here. Next question.
Next question I have why did skate keep closed?
I think they closed because of financial, like some with their lease or something.
Some with their lease
and a lot of stuff like it was a lot of violence happening.
It was a lot.
Died
It was a lot
outside.
of. It was a lot of violence. And one thing with these clubs, bars, and stuff like that, the community board been trying to shut Skate Key down. So every town that has like a popular bar or establishment got a community board, and you got to be real friendly with the community board to sustain and go on there. Skate Key didn't, like you said, it was a lot of violence. So the community board around there didn't want that.
Yeah, they got tired of it.
Every time every Saturday night, it got to
was
be
getting
drama
robbed,
or
somebody
something.
getting shot.
Somebody hit my car.
Yeah.
That my car was parked and all
But the
this
crazy
shit.
shit is that nothing ever happened inside Skate Key.
Outside.
It was all loving it. They had the crazy security team. They had the serious security team.
Security was
Shout
real.
out to Skate Key. Nothing happened in there. It'd be little fights or
Outside.
whatever. They'd break it up. But everything happened outside.
Outside down
you know
the
what I'm
block.
saying? Whether
or-
it be accidents,
Yeah.
whether it be people riding on bikes, crashing, shootings, stabbing, whatever, outside.
And I think like he said, they had a lot of pressure from the community board, and then the people who owned the building didn't want to renew their lease because they was getting a lot of pressure from the community board.
But
So
remember,
ultimately-
they closed down in Allerton and then moved to 138th Street, so they opened back up.
Right.
Then they lost the lease there.
Right.
Because of the violence that came.
But the same thing, Skate Key brought violence. You know what I'm saying?
exactly. So they closed down on Allerton Avenue, and they moved to the other part of the Bronx.
Yeah, I didn't like
and
it.
They closed down
They
again.
moved to like 138th
right
in the South Bronx, Patterson, like in that area, and I didn't like it. The dynamic
The vibe was a little
changed.
different. It
The
was
vibe-
popping, but it was like it wasn't the same.
It was funky. It
wasn't
was
the same
funky.
flow.
It was different. Yeah. Next question. Shoot these questions, man. Shoot the hard questions.
Nah, it's about skate key. What music was playing in that era? You said in the 90s it was the most epic time. Like, you said,
I mean, okay, so a classic song I can remember that caused a lot of fights was Onyx.
Yeah, get 'em up, break 'em up.
All that shit. One gun, two gun, three gun, four.
Yep.
Onyx. Onyx had like
Time
3
to get-
songs.
And Mobb Deep. Mobb Deep was killing it back then.
Mobb Deep came a little after that, but Onyx was some fighting shit. Oh, and MOP.
MOP was crazy.
When MOP came on,
Yeah.
fight happened.
Yeah.
MOP, Onyx, those are two.
Buster was popping back then too.
He was popping,
what I'm saying?
but Onyx and MOP, some fighting shit went on when them songs came on.
Shout out to Big Pun.
Fighting went
That shit
on.
going.
Big Pun. Shout out to Big
You
Pun.
know?
Shout out to Fat Joe. They was in Skate Key in real time in our era. This is like kind of, Pun wasn't on yet. I think Fat Joe was about to get on. He came out with Flo Joe.
Yeah.
But they was in Skate Key like with us, like we would see them. This is before he got on.
Right.
Fat Joe used to always wear the Army fatigue coat, the green coat.
You know,
they
they
was big
Solar
niggas.
Soul. Solar Soul was crazy. However do you want it?
So?
However do you need
They used to come
it?
Skate Key?
No. I'm talking about the music. The music.
Oh yeah.
That's what kind of music was going on. Yeah, that's one of the music that
But
was
rappers that used to come before they was on, Fat Joe was in there, Pone was in there,
Black Sheep.
Black Sheep was in there because Black Sheep was related to Chi Ali. Chi Ali's in
Shout
there.
out
He a
Chi Ali.
young
We
nigga.
just seen
Shout out
you,
to Chi
brother.
Ali.
We seen you last week.
Shout out to Chi Ali.
Yep, good dude.
He was in there. What other rappers was in there?
A lot of rappers. I mean, like,
They said DMX and Jay-Z was there one time. They had like a rap battle in there.
Skakey?
I don't know about.
Not
Couldn't have
Allison.
been Skakey. They wouldn't have now.
Definitely not. That was way before
They
that
battled
time.
somewhere in the city. I think
Yeah,
it might
yeah.
have been like Madison. Mike
Tyson
Tyson never,
comes in.
I never seen Mike Tyson at
He-
Skakey.
Mike
might have
Tyson came a little later.
If he did, it might have came when we wasn't there. I don't remember.
Nah,
him
Mike
coming
Tyson
in.
didn't come Skate. Mike Tyson was like more like the tunnel, like New York City shit. Mike Tyson's spot.
To be honest with you, a lot of people didn't want to come to Skakey because that shit was like the terror zone. Like,
Yeah, true story.
They didn't want to come down
It was
there and
dangerous.
get robbed. Like it was
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
dangerous.
Back
like
then it
you
was
had
dangerous.
to really be like in with the niggas in that area in order to really rock out with them. You had to be with the Allerton Avenue, the Boston Road niggas.
Right.
And you had to really be in that flow
Right.
because they had that shit on lock down there. Like,
Shout out to
Yeah.
Puff Bodyguard, Wolf, Little Wolf.
yeah, shout out to Will.
Like
God bless his dead.
those were like real Bronx niggas that had shit on Smash. Like, you know what I'm saying, back then, like
Yeah.
that, like this, it could be on. You know what I'm saying? They was real.
Allerton Avenue was Bronx headquarters basically back then. You know what I'm saying? The who's who of the Bronx was in there.
That's a
You
whole
know what I'm saying?
fact.
You had niggas from Cedric Avenue, Billy Guy, all of them. Back in the day, like everybody.
Shout out to my guy Billy Guy.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Billy
saying?
Guy bought
Every-
a Momi sweatsuit. Billy
Yeah.
Guy's from Cedric. If you was
Absolutely.
outside, you know who Billy Guy is.
Yeah,
Shout out to Billy
absolutely.
Guy.
So you had all the different parts of the Bronx, Westchester, you know, different spots that used to frequent
Yeah.
Skakey.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Next question.
That's really it. You answered all the questions.
Okay, all right. So
Basically, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's NuttinButLuv show. You know what I'm saying? We here to bring nothing but love.
Nothing
And
but
we
love.
really mean it's nothing but love.
Yeah.
It's no hate. It's no drama. We putting out good energy
Yeah.
out here to the people. And at the end of the day, we got a real story to tell because we really lived it. And anybody who say that it's different, they lying. And anybody that knows us know that they could say, damn, that nigga Mano always was like that. Or nigga Mike always was like that. We really had the things that people talk about. I'm not gonna say y'all talk about because I'm not gonna point out one person, but we had the things that everybody really talk about. We were consistent throughout the years and we relevant right now. We
Yeah.
got those connections right now. We going to these clubs, we going to these restaurants, we going down here and we getting treated with red carpet treatment. And a lot of people can't do that.
I'm gonna piggyback on what he said, and we gonna wrap this up. So, the young people, they always say like, I don't want to hear these old school stories. What y'all doing now? So to answer to the young people, we're relevant right now.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's a fact.
niggas is fucking up some.
And anybody who's come
Hold
out
on.
with us, know we are.
Hold on,
Yeah.
my man Mano buying Javenti right now.
Yeah.
I'm buying Louis coat right now.
I got the 750
You
M
understand what I'm
outside
saying?
right now, 130 outside.
We're
sitting outside
traveling right now. I was traveling during the pandemic, okay? So when they was telling y'all like 10 people on the plane, that was me. You understand? Not too many people was traveling during the pandemic, you know what I'm saying? So I jumped
I
on
was
the
in the
plane
house.
3 times.
He was traveling. I was in the house.
Yeah, I jumped on the plane 3 times. I remember I was in Miami, and it was crazy because New York was shut down. I went to Miami. Nobody had a mask on. People at rooftop party. Yo, that shit was crazy. That shit blew my eyes during the pandemic when I went to Miami. So I say that to say is,
You got to get out there. You got to get out in the world.
we can
see the
relate
world for
to
what it is.
what's happening right now because we're doing things in real time, from the restaurants to the shopping to the partying. We're doing everything in real time, and we can relate to the old school
And
because
got
we was
good
there.
relationships. We got good relationship with the right people.
Yes.
And even with the people that are not the right people, everybody respects realness.
Right.
And that's what we bring.
Right.
It's no fronting here.
Right.
We bring what the people want, a lifestyle. And
Right.
that's what it's about.
Right. So to wrap this up, stay tuned. Got a lot of episodes coming up, some good people coming up, and big things to come in 2023 for Nothing But Love podcast.
Need you to come out and represent.
Yeah.
This Momy.
Momy Clothing. Shout out to Momy Clothing. Shout out to Ariel.
This Momy, you know what it is?
Ariel, this is her spot.
Space.
It's called Rascals Den in Mount Vernon.
That's a fact.
And if you wanna rent the space, the spot is dope. Y'all can't see the whole spot right now.
On Instagram at A1 Ariel.
Ariel, yeah.
A1_Ariel. Right?
The one Ariel.
Well, you can visit my page. I'm gonna post a thing if you want to go.
Yeah,
check it
Rascals
out.
Den.
On the page.
And if you want the discount, ask for Money Mike. Say Money Mike sent you.
That's a fact.
And that's what it is.